Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for another very special edition of WOWSA Live. We're actually going to hear from Deaxo Croes. He's actually one of 5 swimmers who swam from Venezuela to Aruba in the Caribbean Sea. Welcome, Dex.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I know that swim is done one time before, 30 years ago. But can you explain who is on your team? You know, what were the conditions? How did you train and everything about the swim? It's so unusual. We want to hear all about it.
Okay. Well, initially, the first person to have done the swim, his name is Wendy Bisslik. He did it 30 years ago in, what was it, 1988?
Yes.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah, 1988.
1988. And to commemorate his swim, we decided in 2018 to come with a group of friends and also his youngest son and commemorate his swim and do the same distance again.
Wow.
It's a 30-kilometer body of water from what we called Puerto Escondido to in Venezuela to Aruba. Most of us ended doing more than that because there's a very strong, what you call it, east to west current
Uh-huh.
that crosses the channel in between. And it peaks at about 1.9 to 1.8 knots.
Oh, okay.
And it activates or comes alive in the afternoon.
Okay.
So our priority at that time was getting everybody as close as possible to Aruba, and let's say in the first 6 hours of the swim.
Got it. Yeah. And who did you swim with? Can you give a description of everybody you swam with?
Yeah. So what we had is every swimmer had a team by itself,
Mhm.
and we were about let's say a setup of 4 boats,
Okay.
4 to 3 boats. One of them checking out the current, the other one being the lead boat with the assist swimmers and the assist divers, and then 2 boats on each side, which had ropes hanging on them. And you had assist divers, which would be watching the swimmer and also around for any type of big fish. As
Okay.
you can understand, it's a very the channel is because of the current also. It's very frequented by big fish, and
Uh-huh.
you could encounter sharks also in those
Yeah.
waters. But just to mention a few people in my team, we had our swim coach who was a female instructor, Francisco Hoedgedrag. We had a swim captain, which was Inco. The lead boat captain, which was John Versteeg, and a whole bunch of people around us, and also a nutritionist called Charlene Leslie. She helped me out really good. But each of these swimmers had their own team around there with their assist swimmers. And what we would do is we'd swim the first hour straight, right? And every half an hour, we would get into breaks. Of course, the breaks would be unassisted, unaided. You'd have the assist swimmers switch and bring you the food, which can be ranging from a peanut butter sandwich with a lot of salt water, bananas, mix maybe a little bit of carpro, depending on how you digest it at that moment, and also Gatorade was used as feeding.
Yeah. And how warm was the water? What was the water temperature?
The water temperature, if I'm not mistaken, was 86 or 85
Oh,
degrees,
okay.
if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, yeah. And did everybody swim the entire way together? Wow.
Well, no, we split up.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Stephen. You had a
No, go
question?
ahead. Go ahead. So you split
Oh,
up?
yeah, we split up because each of the swimmers had a different pace.
Okay.
So we had Davy Bisslik was the first one to arrive. He arrived at, if I'm not mistaken, 8 hours and 48 minutes.
Okay.
That's, by the way, a record.
Yeah.
We had Stephan Thijsen, which came after him. He was at 9 hours and 13 minutes.
Okay.
Then we had Romar Arendsz.
Yeah.
who arrived at 9 hours and I think 48 minutes.
Okay.
And Wendy, Wendy Kock, which is the first woman also to do the crossing. She arrived at 10 hours and 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I arrived at 10 hours and 20 minutes.
Got it. Got it. Now, you know Wendy, don't you?
Yes, yes,
Is, is she your wife?
yes, she's a
Yeah.
wife.
Okay.
She has two beautiful daughters, very athletic, also swimmers.
Okay.
And honestly, I have no idea how she managed to get the time to train. Plus, she had a shoulder injury right when we were going into 2017.
Okay.
So she had to go into surgery, got that fixed, and she made it. She
Wow.
came in very, very strong. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Much respect for her.
Wow. And Davy, who is the son of the first man who crossed, he's an Olympic swimmer,
Correct.
right? Or he swam at the Olympics.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. Yeah, he's a two-time Olympian. His specialty was the 1500 meters,
Uh-huh.
and if I'm not mistaken, was the 200-meter back.
Okay. Okay. Now do you come from a swimming background?
No, no, no. I joined in. I think I was adopted by Rolly because I think he thought I might kill myself at one point, being ran over boats and stuff. But I actually joined swimming about 10 years ago, but it was a complement to the free diving. So
Okay.
I'm a free diver by nature,
Got it.
but it was always said to us that the best complement to exercise to do for free diving was swimming. So when I started swimming, I noticed that my body had very little wear and tear.
Uh-huh.
That I could swim today and then right away swim tomorrow, and then that my distances would increase with each swim, and my body would hold. So by the time I came to Rolly and asked him, well, he told me I should come to train with him. I was doing on average about 18 kilometers a week, 18,
Okay.
20 kilometers. Um, but yeah, once I got with him and he took me under his arm and under his tutelage, yeah, the whole progression just skyrocketed.
Yeah. So
But
just so people know, free divers go down deep. Now you have to go
correct. Yeah.
along the water. I mean, that's a big change to go from 18
Oh,
kilometers
for sure.
a week to 30 kilometers in 10 hours.
Correct. I mean, it was the whole physiological change, but also you have to build up the muscle memory. Like I'm sure a lot of people know that those that start swimming at a older age do not have the muscle memory, the agility that and the rhythm. That's very important. The rhythm that swimmers that started earlier have. You know, there's a certain flow that swimmers have, and you can see it right away in
Yeah.
the water. That people that have started swimming from a very young age, you see the rhythm, you see the flow that they carry in the water, and the feel that they have with the water. So that I had to very, I would say, painstakingly had to relearn, because freediving doesn't carry any of that knowledge. Freediving is completely different. The only complement that it gives you is the cardiovascular workout, but also into the uh, giving you a higher tolerance to the carbon monoxide.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, also free divers, I mean, you have to have a very strong mind. Your mindset is very strong. Did that help you in doing such a long channel swim?
Oh yes, definitely, Stephen. Not only the very strong mind, but it's the ability to switch on and off, to step away from the if I can call it the mental process or processing of thoughts that transport you to the future or remembering the past. So
Wow.
being in the present and working into each stroke and memorizing all the lessons you've accumulated throughout time, but it's very important to be in the present. So you can always choose a baseline that when it gets hard, or when something aches, or the food didn't go down well, or you're not digesting it as you thought, you always revert back to that baseline that you say, okay, what exactly am I doing? Um, am I doing it right? Is my hand pulling all the way down? Is the rhythm on my kick in tune with my breathing and on entry? Going back to those basics. And
Yeah.
once you get into that zone, I can be honest with you, Stephen. 100 meters in a sprint is longer than those 10 hours that I spent swimming that leg, because you just lose the sense of what is time, what is normally the everyday motions that you
Yeah.
have on
Yeah.
land.
Yeah. Now, when you finished, what were you feeling when you finally touched Aruba? What was the going through your mind?
Well, I at first, I mean, my mom was the first to embrace me when I got to land. But swimming while swimming, and also for the preparations and the trainings before that, I thought I was gonna cry because of all the emotions you have and you have accumulated time. But then it was just a sudden sense of joy. I couldn't stop laughing, because I was so happy to be there. And of course,
Yeah.
having all your people in front of you,
Yeah.
and everybody lined up and looking at you, and then they clapping hands
Yeah.
and welcome you to your island,
Yeah.
and that's exhilarating. I mean, I'll carry that forever with me. It's that
Yeah.
energy that you feel from the people. But
Yeah.
I was extremely happy,
Oh, that's
extremely
great.
happy.
That's great. And when you left Venezuela, what it was it sunrise?
Mhm.
It started sunrise, correct? There was already sun was
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
can you see Aruba
Correct.
from Venezuela? Can you see when you're
Yeah, you
on
can
shore?
see Aruba. Yeah. I mean, of course, it depends on the day,
Yeah.
but where we were at, Aruba is a lot densely populated than the location we were at, or Puerto Escondido. So every night you could see the glare
Oh, okay.
of the island from all the lights.
Got it.
And I took a picture with my iPhone, and you could see landmarks also,
Okay.
of the island. And actually, I remember you could see Aruba better than what you could be in Aruba and see Venezuela.
Okay.
Um, because yeah, on the islands, on this part of the islands, we get a lot of that Sahara dust
Oh,
when
okay.
you have
Okay.
the let's say the Atlantic winds picking up,
Yeah.
and then it blows into the entire Caribbean, but also part of like Latin America, and also the Amazon. But we
Okay.
also get a lot of that here.
Okay. Okay. Now, during the swim, were there any problems? Did you see big fish? Did you get stung by jellyfish? Were there waves?
Well, we had, well, that's the first question, because everybody wants shark, and big fish. So, no, we didn't see anything in the water.
Okay.
I'm imagining, and I would like to think that way, that sharks are very shy, in the sense, if they
Yeah.
get a lot of noise, or noise that does not resemble a prey, they would swim away.
Yeah.
So imagine having three boats, four boats around you, with kayakers and swimmers, and you make so much noise that wouldn't even bother to come by. So no, to answer the question, really, no sharks were seen. We did. Stephan Thijsen encountered a pot of dolphins
Oh, really?
that
Okay.
accompanied him for, yeah, very remarkable. Accompanied him for close to 15 minutes, so that was very nice for him. Um, but no, in my case, we didn't see anything, and I know for the other swimmers, they didn't see anything either. Wave conditions, well, remember, you're swimming towards, so Venezuela's to the south and Aruba's more to the north. Okay. And the currents and also waves are moving predominantly from east to west, but coming in more from north. Okay, so they're predominantly east to west, but they're coming from the north, moving towards the
Oh,
south.
okay.
So as you can imagine, we had to swim against the current,
Oh, okay.
but then a little bit leaning to the west.
Okay.
And yeah, we got a lot of surface waves. I would say some 3 to and peaked at 5 foot waves.
Okay.
But we had 4 storms that rushed through when we were swimming, so that was part of the let's say the peaks of the waves, the highest waves. The rest of them, it was pretty good, and
Oh,
we've trained for it because in Aruba, you have so many different conditions and different types of water. So you have what we call washing machine waves. So
yeah.
waves that don't have patterns but move up and down in a
Yeah.
certain motion. You have the little high frequency waves
Yeah.
that it makes breathing a
Sure.
real challenge that you have to cut through.
Yeah.
And come also to the parts where you have certain currents that if you're looking at bottom landmarks, they never seem to move past you. Sometimes they stay right in the line of vision, or sometimes they move forward. And also waves that come sideways and front.
Yeah.
So Aruba offers a wide variety of different conditions that really prepare you for these types of swims. The only thing I would say that you don't get here is the cold water, which is if you're training, for example, for an English Channel swim or something like that, it would offer good challenging conditions, but not the cold of the water. So you acclimatize your body.
Okay. Okay. Now, since that swim, I heard you've been doing other swims too. You you wanted to keep on challenging yourself.
Yes, cool. Yes. So because that went so well, and we have a chain of islands that belong to the Dutch kingdom, which is Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, I thought it would be a very, symbolic swim or symbolic challenge to have swim all that distance. So
Okay.
draw a line from Curacao, Aruba, and then end up in the mainland. So right now I'm training, and I'm actually in Bonaire right now. I'm
Okay.
training to do the Bonaire Curacao swim
Okay.
on a straight line. It's 42 kilometers.
Okay.
And the conditions are different than from the Venezuela Aruba swim because I'll have predominantly the current coming from my back. So
Okay.
it moves east to west, and of course the distance is east to west.
Yeah.
But you have a very, very, very strong northerly current. So for this particular challenge, we decided to take the approach a little bit different because that hasn't been done before, and test the waters. So on December 1st, we did a test swim of 20 kilometers, starting all the way from the south of Bonaire,
Uh-huh.
which is a spot called Red Slave. And we swam 20 kilometers at, if I'm not mistaken, 250 degrees
Okay.
heading west. So if you take the compass, you
Yeah.
point 250 degrees, you reach the point where we arrived.
Okay.
Now, because the current was so strong that day, we were a little bit north from where we wanted to end up. So I'm planning to come back maybe February or the end of January, do another swim where we will do some more aggressive corrections at the beginning,
Okay.
and then let the current take me further. But just to give a quick remark, where I'm departing, which is Red Slave, and measuring it to Curacao, it's 54 kilometers on a straight line compared to the 42 kilometers from the closest point.
Got it.
And that why we're starting more the south is because of that northern.
Okay. Oh, wow.
One more thing, Stephen. The planned swim is for 2020, between September and November.
Okay.
We haven't picked up the date yet.
Got it. Got it. Wow. And is it going to be the same 5 swimmers? This or
No,
different
this
swim?
time it's gonna be just me.
Oh, just you.
Um,
Okay, great.
yeah, no, yeah, just me this time.
Got it.
Just me this time.
Got it.
I really wanted to try one on my own.
Uh-huh.
And I have similar team as I had from Venezuela to Aruba. There's some logistical differences and challenges at this moment because to get the crew from departing Bonaire to, from Aruba to Bonaire is a longer journey than from Aruba to Venezuela.
Ah, yeah.
So you really have to have big and very fast boats to get there.
Got it.
But luckily, I've lived here in Bonaire for a couple of years and have many friends. One of them being Mr. Andrea Pollinare, and he's now the team captain for our team, and he's arranging, making all the deals with local boats and boats capable of carrying out, the open ocean voyage.
Okay. Okay. 54 kilometers. Good. This will be a good one.
54, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
So hoping to get the same type of current I got last week, but you like my coach in Aruba says, Rolly says, you train for the worst, you expect the best, but you always train for the worst.
Yeah.
And hope is never a strategy. So you just prepare as much as you can. I'm sure he'll take me to church many times to pray. But yeah, we're confident. We have a good team, good backup, good group of people that put a very good sense of comfort in me. So
Yeah.
when I'm swimming, I know the only thing I have to do is measure each half hour as it goes on.
Yeah.
So I just have to swim, and I have the confidence and trust in them that they can guide me throughout the journey.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's have another one of these conversations as you get closer and the date is set.
Yes.
That would be very fun. And so we'll have a before discussion and then we'll have a after celebration.
Yes, definitely. Definitely we will do, Stephen.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted on any updates that we might have for this one, and send you all the. We're building a website. We're trying to get people together to organize, of course, for good cause. But this time we have the platform to have a fundraising for Bonaire, have a fundraising all for Curacao, but also have a fundraising for Aruba, and in some way connect the three islands because we have basically the same background. We're all part of the Dutch Caribbean Kingdom. We all speak a similar language and have a very similar culture to each other. So, why not have a good swim between the islands to just remind everybody how close we are together and how much we depend on each other, especially in these difficult times.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, we definitely want to follow you and help promote the good cause that you're going to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.